Hello, welcome to Poetry Changes Lives. Poetry meets history and a thought for the day. Every day as usual in my book. On this day in 1957, the Anglo-Irish writer Joyce Cary died. Now, Joyce Cary, not that well known these days, but in his time, in the sort of middle of the 20th century, he was extremely well known and highly regarded. He was an Irishman, and his family moved to England when he was still young, but he always remembered his Irish roots, and some of his stories are about Ireland. He later travelled a lot, particularly in Africa. Joyce Cary originally, as a young man, wanted to be an artist, a painter, but he soon realized that he was never going to be top rank, and therefore, as an artist, he was never going to get very much recognition. So he decided to change course and become a writer. He must have been a very talented man, but he succeeded in that. And some of his books are extremely good, though, as I say, not so well known these days. His most famous is called The Horse's Mouth, which is a great name for a novel, I think. It's a fictional story of an artist, a painter, of his life, basically. And it was made into a film in the 1940s, I think. And a very good film it was, too. I remember it. Well, today, I'm going to read a poem by another Irishman who lived in England, William Butler Yeats. Joyce Cary must have known all about Yeats. Joyce Cary sadly died of motor neurone disease, relatively young, and he must have longed for the sort of peace and tranquility that William Butler Yeats describes in this poem, the Lake Isle of Innisfree. Of course, Yeats was a great one for getting away from it all. He longed to escape to magical, mythical places. He was a great one for mythology. I think he really didn't like the reality of the day-to-day world that he found himself living in. So much of his poetry is to do with magic and myth. But of course, that doesn't stop him from having been a wonderful, absolutely awesomely good poet, in my view. He's one of my all-time greats, William Butler Yeats. This poem, though, is the ultimate get away from it all poem. It has the most wonderful imagery of tranquility and escapism. See what you think of this. I'm sure Joyce Cary would have loved it. The Lake Isle of Innisfree. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin build there, of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybees, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnight's all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. I will arise and go now, for always, night and day, I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. Wow, such a lovely image. It makes one sort of yearn for peace and quiet. The poem of escapism, WB Yeats. He loved a bit of escapism in his poems. Today I will try to respect all people and remember that anger and resentment can only harm me. Thank you for listening today. Have a good day.